the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
The Chicago Bears have made a decision on Ryan Poles' future. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bear fans, make sure you also do me another huge favor, but also hit the like button on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. All right, Bears fans, we have a huge update in regard to Ryan Poles' future as Chicago Bears general manager, and it seems like the Bears have made their decision. It's nothing official quite yet, and I know we've been having a lot of conversations about Ryan Poles' future. I know there's a lot of Bears fans out there, maybe including myself, that think Ryan Poles should be fired after the Green Bay Packers game this Sunday. But once again, SearSTower, the X account that we talk about a lot that has a lot of connections inside Hallis Hall, they have been very accurate in reporting Chicago Bears news and updates. And these are a couple of things that this X account had to say on Ryan Poles' future. He says, here's the scoop. Poles is going to be extended. They then follow up with this. To make this as simple as possible, Ben is highly interested in the Bears job, talking about Ben Johnson. The Bears want Ben. Bears have confirmed that Ben is open to working with Poles pending the pitch official interview. Poles will be extended. Bears fans, this is pretty interesting to me because this is the first time where we've had some confirmation on how Ben Johnson feels about Ryan Poles. Once again, we didn't want to have the situation where Ben Johnson wasn't interested in being the Chicago Bears head coach due to the lame duck GM situation surrounding Ryan Poles. So that led us to believe that, hey, if Ben Johnson comes in here and says, hey, I don't really like Ryan Poles, I don't want to work with him, then Ryan Poles would be gone, and then they would go ahead and align that general manager of basically Ben Johnson's choosing. And that basically means that Ben Johnson, for being a first-time head coach, would have a whole lot of power. But once again, this is pretty crazy stuff right here from SearSTower. Once again, the Bears want Ben, and the Bears have confirmed that Ben Johnson is open to working with Ryan Poles pending the pitch official interview. So basically, this is going to be Ryan Poles' audition, not only to Kevin Warren, the Chicago Bears organization, but Ben Johnson on why he should remain the Chicago Bears GM. And to me, this is crazy because once again, I think the Bears have it all backwards, right? And I think this is why there's so much dysfunction within the organization because of the situation that we're dealing with right now. This should be on Kevin Warren and Kevin Warren alone, not the McCaskey family. Kevin Warren should be making a decision on what he wants to do with general manager Ryan Poles. To add a little bit of another wrinkle to this entirety of the situation and why the Chicago Bears are so dysfunctional, Ben Devine actually put this on X as well. He said, according to Albert Breer, the Chicago Bears ownership, the McCaskey family, wants current GM Ryan Poles to hire the next head coach. They said GM Ryan Poles is set up to run point on the search, and I'm told it's because that's the way ownership wants it. I am totally fine with keeping Ryan Poles for maybe another couple of years. Do I have my doubt about Poles and his ability to build offensive line, to find a good coach? Yes, absolutely. There's definitely some question marks on if Ryan Poles can actually build a winning organization and a winning culture here in Chicago, and rightfully so. My issue with this statement from Albert Breer and the one that Ben Devine put on X is this. Why are the McCaskies still all up in the business in terms of football operations? George McCaskey says time and time and time again that he wants nothing to do with football operations. But once again, he is going into the business saying, hey, I want to keep Ryan Poles, and that's basically how it's going to go. Ryan Poles will be leading the search, and that's that. To me, once again, George McCaskey, you said you're not a football guy, right? So if you're not a football guy, that means go up there, sit your ass in your suite, and shut the hell up. That's personally how I feel about it, right? So once again, you're not allowing Kevin Warren to make the ultimate decision. If Kevin Warren is in agreement, say, hey, I also want to keep Ryan Poles, I think we need to keep Ryan Poles because X, Y, and Z, then yes, that is Kevin Warren's job. That's what the McCaskey family hired Kevin Warren to be, to handle the football operations and all that stuff, and obviously build the stadium as well. But if George McCaskey and the McCaskey family are meddling in football operation business and doing the job for Kevin Warren, what the hell is Kevin Warren doing? But once again, if Kevin Warren is also in agreement to keep Ryan Poles for an extension, that is totally fine as well. That's ultimately what they want to do. But here's what I truly think the Chicago Bears are trying to do and trying to prove to, I guess, Ben Johnson or any other coach they're possibly interested in. They want to make sure that Ben Johnson sees alignment with the organization, right? I think they want to keep Ryan Poles. I think they feel like he has done some great things. Rather we disagree or not, I think the Bears organization think Ryan Poles has done some great things, which you can list a couple of things that he's done really well. Obviously, the offensive line has been a total failure. Obviously, finding a good head coach has been a total failure as well. But I think they feel like Ryan Poles deserves at least one more chance to build the offensive line and find a good head coach for the Chicago Bears organization. But I think they're trying to prove to Ben Johnson that, hey, look, we have alignment. Here's what Ryan Poles messed up on, and here as an organization, what we messed up on as well. I think they're trying to prove to Ben Johnson that, hey, we do have alignment. We don't have a lame duck head coach, and we think that you are the missing piece to really help us with our culture and get the Chicago Bears back to winning ways. So once again, it's good news that Ben Johnson is not scared of the Chicago Bears or scared away by keeping Ryan Poles. He's going to hear Ryan Poles and the Bears organization out. And how I view this, right? If Ben Johnson comes in and you know, he gets the pitch from Ryan Poles and the Bears organization, and let's say by the end of the interview, he's not feeling Ryan Poles, he's probably going to give them an ultimatum. And I know that's crazy to think. He's a first-time head coach, but I think Ben Johnson surprisingly has a whole lot of power. And I think the Chicago Bears will probably be desperate enough to be like, you know what? Yeah, we want Ben Johnson that bad. And they may say, hey, do you want Ryan Poles or not? If he says no, I still can see Ryan Poles possibly being canned. But once again, this is positive news for Ryan Poles. This is probably not the news that a lot of you Bears fans wanted to hear. But it seems that Ryan Poles will be extended for another couple of years to possibly align himself with Ben Johnson. And if Ben Johnson's okay and has trust in Ryan Poles, I guess we move forward. Obviously, we need to see a lot from Ryan Poles over these next couple of years. I think he would still be on a short leash. He needs to build the trenches on the offense and defensive lines. Obviously, I think Ben Johnson would be the right hire. I know there's a lot of people that kind of feel indifferent about Ben Johnson because he's a first-time head coach. But once again, I think if the Bears hire Ben Johnson and he fails with the Chicago Bears, no one will blame Ryan Poles and the Bears organization because everyone is telling us to hire Ben Johnson. Everyone is telling us that Ben Johnson is the best head coaching candidate during this cycle. So that's how I feel about it. Once again, I just wanted to come on here really quick and give you this update. I think it is a huge update. Just knowing what we've been talking about Ryan Poles, and it seems like the relationship between him and Kevin Warren has been kind of shaky over the last couple of weeks, and it seemed like his seat was actually hot, but it seems like times are changing for Ryan Poles, and it feels like he's going to be safe, and the Bears will extend him, obviously pending that interview with Ben Johnson. So Bears fans, how you guys feeling about this update that I gave you guys on today's episode of Geek on the Mic? Let me know how you're feeling down below in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic.